Hi, this is Dave with Excel for Geologists. Today we'll be looking at the Excel function called Vlookup. Vlookup is a very useful function when looking at geologic data sets. It allows us to merge attributes from one table to another. We'll be looking at several examples in this tutorial. In the examples we'll be looking at, we'll have tables which are missing some attributes. For example, in this log data we have some log depths, but we're missing formation names. To find the formation names, we go to another table, which is our lookup table. And you can see it contains two columns. It has some log depths, and then it has formation names. And in parentheses, I've added the depth range for these formations. Let's work the first example here. We'll go to the first blank row and type in equal V lookup, open parenthesis, and you'll notice that it gives us the parameters that we'll need to fill in. So there are 4 parameters. We'll go through these. The first one is the lookup value, and this is basically the log depth, comma. Then it wants the table array. So here we're going to go from B12 to C16, comma. Then it wants to know the column index number. So lookup tables in VLOOKUP are arranged by column numbers, so column 1, column 2. And you always need to have your lookup parameter in column 1. That's a requirement of VLOOKUP. And here we're going to add in what's in column 2. So we'll put column 2. And then it wants to know what is the range lookup. Range lookup is a logical test that asks, do we want to find the exact match? Well, for this case here, we're going to try the exact match. You can either put in a 0 or a false. And close parenthesis. And it gives us an NA because basically there's no 0. It starts at 1 and it goes to 15. Let's fill this in by double-clicking. It found 1 correctly, but everything else is NA. So let's see what's going on here. And if we look here, notice that the table array has changed. It's now B21 to C25. If I go down, it's B22 to C26, B23 to C27. And the problem that we have here is that when we put in the first formula, we made these relative cell addresses. So we're going to change these to absolute cell addresses in the table array. So I'll just click at the end of it and hit F4, and then I'll do the same thing here at the other end of the array. Now we have absolute addresses. We'll accept that change, and now let's fill down. Well, this is done better. You can see that at 5 it found it, at 10 it found it, and at 15. So this is the exact. It only finds it for these exact parameters. But let's say that's usually when we work with log data, we want to do something a little bit different, because we want to fill this all in here with formation, basically everything from 1 to 4.9 or to 5, we want it to fill in with formation 1. So here we'll do it again. E equal V lookup, and you can double click this and it'll start you off, which is a kind of a handy little trick. Okay, our lookup value is 0, comma. Let's put in our table array, and we'll make these absolute cell addresses by using F4, comma. We want column 2, and now this time we want the approximate match. And so we're going to put in either a 1 leave it blank or put in true, we'll put a 1 in here. Now, one caution about doing the approximate match is that your log depth in this case and your lookup table need to be sorted in ascending order. So there's a caution on that. Alright, still doesn't find 0 and it shouldn't. So let's come over here and now we'll fill down. And you notice that it fills it in. Now let's just check these. So everything from 1 to 5 should be formation 1. And that worked. And we'll see that formation 2 should go from 5 to 10. And it does. Then at 10 it should be formation 3 down to 15. That worked. And everything greater than 15 should be greater than 15. And it is. So that worked. Let's quickly take a look at another example. Here again we have log depths and we want to add the formation names. And so we know that formation top starts at 1 foot and goes down to 5. Then from 5 to 10 is mid, and then from 10 and greater is base. So again, we're going to do this as an approximate match. And we'll go equal Vlookup. I'm going to double click it. And I'll put in here the lookup value, comma. I'll highlight the table array, F4 to make those absolute. And then I want column 2. And to make this an approximate match, I'll put in a 1. Remember, it needs to be in ascending order for the approximate match. So that looks good. Let's fill down. And let's see, starting at 5 we're at mid. That's correct. And starting at 10 we're at base. So that worked perfectly. One little trick about doing VLOOKUPs is that if you ever want to know what the parameters are, you click on the FX and it will bring up this dialog box and it'll show you what the parameters are. And if you click, for example, if you click in range lookup, it tells you here what the definition of it is. Same thing with column index. So you can get an explanation of what the parameters are by using this dialog box. To summarize, VLOOKUP is a useful tool for merging tables. It contains 4 parameters: the lookup value, the table array, a column index, and the range lookup. Remember that if you're doing approximate matches, the first column in the lookup table must be the same as the lookup value and sorted ascending. I hope you found this tutorial useful.